marvellous time, didn't we? Oh, that swan got a little bit close to me, Stinky. Yes, I was a little bit frightened. He kept sort of coming up, and the more I backed away, the closer he got. Yes, what's that? He wanted to give me a peck. Yes, I think he did. Oh, it's the Poppets. Hello, my little Poppets, mums and dads, and welcome back to story time once again. Well, Stinky and I have had a very busy day. We've just come back from the lake. We like to go up to the lake at least once a week. We take up a bag of bread and we feed it to the ducks. So many ducks up there. There are swans and wood ducks and all sorts of ducks. And I was just saying to Stinky, a swan that I was feeding was getting a little bit too close to me and I was a little bit wary. I was afraid that he was going to give me a bit of a peck, which is sometimes what they do. Well, we were also talking about Maxwell, funny enough, and you all remember Maxwell. He's appeared in a few Storytime videos, and Maxwell, when he was a little boy, he loved going up to the lake and he loved feeding the ducks. He absolutely loved it, didn't he, Stinky? And it was his most favourite thing in the whole world. Well, my dear Poppets, speaking of ducks and Maxwell, of course, we've got a bit of a different story for you today on Story Time. And this book that I'm reading is called Max Loves Ducks. And this is a very special story that Maxwell's mummy wrote for him. And I don't know if the Poppets at home are aware, but there's all sorts of books and different ways that you can tell stories. Sometimes you can just verbally tell a story without a book at all. You can just tell a story or make one up. Or of course, if you have a good idea about a book, you can write it down. And this is what Maxwell's mummy did. She wrote a story about Maxwell. And it's called Maxwell Loves Ducks. And here it is here, the very front cover. And there's a lovely picture of Maxwell there on the very front. Look at that. And I think he's quite young there. I think he's about 2 or maybe 3. And he loved going to the park and, of course, feeding the ducks. So I'm quite excited about reading this story, Stinky. Are you? What's that? He's grown up quite a bit. Yes, he has grown up quite a bit. Quite a lot, actually. But I think for this one, Stinky, because it's a little bit awkward, I might pop you down for this one and then we'll have a little bit of a chat later on. All right then, dear? Yes, good boy. Oh, Maxwell Loves Ducks. And I am looking forward to this one, I have to say. Yes, this does look like a good one indeed. And here we go, my dear Poppets. This is Max. He is a sweet little boy with blonde curly hair and big blue eyes. And there he is there, as you saw on the very front cover there. Blonde hair and big blue eyes. Yes, he certainly does have blonde hair. Max is full of smiles and kisses, giggles and tickles. Oh yes, he liked to have a tickle, Max. He'd love to have a laugh, to have a giggle. Max loves lots of things. Yes, well I do remember that about Maxwell. Lots of things he liked to play with. He loves his books and crayons, his pens and paper. Well, there we are there, and we've got a drawing there of a table. And I do believe we have a book there on the table and a container of crayons. Yes, because Maxwell very much did enjoy drawing. And he still does, I think. And there's some crayons there too on the other page. His stuffed toy dinosaur, his teddy bear called Ted. Well, here's some other things, my dear Poppets, that Maxwell loved when he was a little boy. There's a green dinosaur there and a teddy bear called Ted. Look at that. And I do believe that Maxwell still has that teddy. Yes, he has that there and he takes it to bed. But most of all, Max loves ducks. Every morning when Max wakes up, he runs into the family room. Well, there's a duck there. It's a yellow duck. It looks to me like a rubber duck, the sort of duck that you would take into the bath, especially if you're having a bubble bath, because a bubble bath is loads of fun. And we also have, what do we have on that page? We have a living room, so we've got a chair there and we've got a lamp, and I do believe there's a pair of socks there on the floor. Sometimes you whip off a pair of socks if you're watching TV, and there's also a car there as well. And Anthea and Angus are getting ready for school. Well, Anthea and Angus are Max's big sister and brother. Max looks at Anthea and points at the bread bin. Well, there is an apple there and a mug of milk, because when, of course, you have to have a lovely breakfast before you head off to school, you've got to make sure that you have something nutritious to eat. Yes, it does look tasty, and of course the bread bin. Now, for those poppets who don't know what a bread bin is, a bread bin is a container that you keep your bread in to keep it nice and fresh. Ducks, he asks. Anthea scoops him up and kisses his soft, warm cheek. Oh, isn't that lovely? A cuddle with his big sister. Not today, baby, she says. Max looks at Angus and points to the bread bin. Oh, poor Max. He really wants to go and feed the ducks. Ducks, he asks. Quack, quack, quack. Can you be a duck? I think we should all be ducks together. Quack, 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 and flapping our wings. Angus cuddles Max. Not today, little man. Maybe on the weekend I can take you to the park, or if you're a good boy, Mummy might take you today. Yes, if you're a good boy, that's right. Mum yawns. Oh, a great big yawn for Mum. She must be very tired, I think. Max waves goodbye as Dad takes Anthea and Angus to school. Well, here we have a lovely car here, an orange car with black wheels, as Angus and Anthea bundle into the car and Dad takes them to school. Yes, it's a bit of a rush in the morning, getting your school things ready so you can start a very busy day at school. Max sighs. Gone, he says. Max looks at Mum. Ducks, he asks. Oh, he's still asking about the ducks, my dear poppets. Mum smiles. How about some breakfast first? Porridge, says Max. Oh, I do remember that about Max. He loves a bowl of porridge, and we've also got a slice of toast there. Yes, and toast also is yummy to have for breakfast. Yes, I remember that Maxwell used to always leave the crust when he would have his toast. Max loves porridge. He has it every morning for breakfast. Mum asks Max which bowl he'd like, the red, blue, or green. Well, here we have some fruit there on a page and a blue bowl with a teddy bear on it. Yes, sometimes you can have fruit for breakfast. You can have a banana or an apple, and I do believe there's some grapes there as well. Or perhaps you have a favourite bowl that you have your cereal in. Max points to the green bowl and says yellow. Yellow, he says. I want yellow. Well, there's a green bowl there, and it has Max on the bowl there, and there's also another bowl there, and it has a little sailboat on the yellow bowl. Look at that. So which one is he going to choose? He wants yellow. He has two yellow bowls, I think. So Max has the yellow bowl and Mum has the blue. Porridge, says Max. Delicious. Well, there we have a yellow bowl there, full of delicious porridge, and in great big letters we have the word yum. Of course, because porridge is very, very yummy. Yes, it most certainly is. I love it. It's my favourite. Mum smiles as she sips her hot tea. Oh yes, I do like a nice hot cup of tea, especially in the morning. After breakfast, Mum and Max get washed. Mum runs Max a bath. Well, here we have a lovely green bath there with lots and lots of bubbles. Lots of water there right up to the very top. Yes, there's nothing like a wash after breakfast in the morning. Max loves bath time. Max slides up and down inside the bath, flooding the bathroom floor. Well, there's lots of bubbles, my dear poppets, on the page there, and Max likes to slide up and down in the bath, putting soapy suds everywhere, water all over the bathroom floor. Yes, it is lots of fun to splash in the tub. Quack, 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 he says. I'm a duck. Mum wraps Max in his favourite fluffy towel and brings him into the family room, where she dresses him in front of the fire. Well, there's a lovely yellow fluffy towel there with some bubbles as well, as they quite often stick to the towel, especially when there's bubbles everywhere. When they're both dressed, Max says, "Ducks? Oh, he's still talking about the ducks." Well, my dear Poppets, we're going to end Max Loves Ducks right there. And I think we'll continue on with Max Loves Ducks in the next episode of Story Time, because Max Loves Ducks is quite a long book indeed, but a very, very cute one, I have to say. And I forgot to show you there, the very front cover, there's some feathers, some duck feathers that Max has collected when he went to the park a long time ago. There's some duck feathers there that he found on the ground, another large white swan feather there, I think. And a very, very cute story about our dear, dear Maxwell. And that's where we're going to leave it for today. Well, I'd like to say one or two things to the mums and dads at home before I have a little chat with Stinky about Max Loves Ducks. And I just want all the mums and dads to know how very important it is to support our authors, because our children's authors do such a wonderful job writing all these marvellous stories for our dear little Poppets. So it is very, very important to support our children's authors. Well, I'll have a little chat to Stinky. He's down here. Yes. Oh, Stinky, my friend. Did you enjoy that book, dear? You did. Yes. What's that? You can't believe how much Maxwell has changed. Yes, well, he certainly is growing up. And I do believe Maxwell is 8 now. So that is quite a long time ago. What's that? He was a cute little boy. Yes, he was. And a very, very funny one. He still is, actually, I have to say. Well, Stinky, you know what time it is, don't you? What's that? It's time to say goodbye to the Poppets. Yes, it is. Well, mums and dads and Poppets, of course, thank you so much for tuning in for Story Time. Perhaps you could get creative and write your own story about some ducks, or perhaps you'd like to write a story about a unicorn flying a plane, or something interesting and funny, whatever you like, and let your imagination go crazy. Or perhaps you could pretend to be a duck. And as always, my dear ones, thank you for watching, and until next time.